So you own a Golf 1 in South Africa, or in the process of buying one. But most importantly, what you really invested in is that engine swap. Problem is you just don't know how much it could cost or how to actually go about the build as a whole. Well, look no further, because right here in this very video is what I'd like to believe is the best guideline in South Africa right now to realistically build your Mark 1 in 2026.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
So, stick around and I'll run you through some of the most commonly found setups in the Mark 1 world. Whether you want a completely bone stock setup or a category I'd like to classify as the best bang for buck, quote unquote street setup, between both naturally aspirated power and turbocharged builds. And of course, we've got to add in a few more extra proper street turbo setup builds. So I'm gonna start off with a setup, of course. Yes, it's probably the most common, but for very good reason. And personally, I'd like to believe this is probably one of my favorite setups. The beloved 8-valve. Guys, you're gonna have to forgive me for this one because I'm definitely gonna have to refer to some notes to make sure that I give you all the information that's required. So just bear with me. So let's just get straight up into it. First setup, we gotta start off with what I'd like to believe is one of the street's favorites, the 2-liter 8-valve setup. I mean, how can you not like it? There's so much to it. It has so much flexibility and so much to offer with not much to lose, if anything to lose at all. Before we even get into specs, etc., I just want to state that even when I bought my City Rocks, this car did come with a 2-liter 8-valve with throttles and cams and a few good things. So it'll always have a place in my heart, I ain't gonna lie.
Cap.
And the beauty of this setup is that you really get to keep the luxuries of such components like your AC. I mean, who wants to lose that in their Mark 1 unless you really want that big power? But honestly, I feel like this really is the best starter pack to get into the Mark 1 game. It is honestly, it's got a place in my heart. So to dive into the question that everyone is probably dying to know, price. Before I even state any prices moving forward, I just want to let you guys know that all prices stipulated here have been, well, properly discussed between myself and Travolta from Denzel's Auto, obviously the shop that I choose to help me build my Golf 1s. And these are the drive-in, drive-out prices, pretty much. So yes, you might be able to find it somewhere else for less, and another company or shop will do it for more. But these are the realistic prices that we have put together for you guys so you have a good understanding of where we stand, at least as the case in invoice. So drive-in, drive-out price of the 2-liter 8-valve swap in stock form, we're looking at about 35 to 40 grand. Obviously, it just depends on the import prices on motor at that very moment in time, but you're looking at about 35 to 40 grand.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
It's unfortunate that the motors have all skyrocketed so high in price. It was nothing, unfortunately, the importers can do. Taxes are banging everyone, so it is what it is. Moving on to the next category, what I would like to call the bang for buck, or street setup, if that's what you will. Oh, and one more thing, all power figures put out from here in, and parts required, of course, it's all for pump fuel. 95 octane South African gasoline. So moving on to the best bang for buck or street setup for the 2-liter 8-valve. Most of this is going to be headwork, but parts that will be required or engineering that will need to be done. First things first, you need to skim the head for compression, gas flow, port and polish, and obviously cams. A chip or a standalone ECU will take you a long way. We're looking at plus minus 110 kilowatts on pump gas, of course. Price range, we're looking between 50 and 55 grand.
What?
8-valve turbo setup. So these are the potential power expectancies. We're looking at around 160 to 170 kilowatts. This will be on stock internals, T3, T4 turbo, and a standalone ECU. Price bracket, plus minus 70K.
Not bad, not bad.
Then we move on to what I would like to believe for a very long time used to be a crowd favorite. The good old faithful 2-liter 16-valve, aka ABF.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
So stock ABF setup, basically all you need to really get it going is very few parts. A standalone ECU and headers and an exhaust will take you a long way. Power expectancy, we're looking at around 115 to 120 kilowatts. And the price range shoots anywhere around the 60 grand. Probably just north of 60 grand realistically. It's mad how much the prices have gone up, but it is what it is. The OGs know how much cheaper it used to be to build these setups, but the time we live in 2026, it is what it is. ABF bang for buck street setup, mainly it's going to require headwork, but you will need that standalone ECU again. Headers and exhaust will take you a long way. And furthermore, what it will be on the headwork is gas flow port polish, a set of cams, and some bigger injectors. Power expectancy between 100 and 135 kilowatt on pump gas. And again, the price bracket now, with all of that, wait for it, plus minus 80 grand. ABF turbo. We're gonna focus on stock internals initially. Bolt-ons required. T3, T4 turbo, or a GC30 with the 4/8 exhaust housing. Looking at capping the power around 300 kilowatt. And the price bracket, depending on how bespoke you really want that build to be, it can go from anywhere from 100K all the way to 200K. So moving along to the 20-valve naturally aspirated setup. So just like the ABF per se, in stock form it's going to need pretty much the same things. A standalone ECU, and obviously you would advise headers and exhausts, which will take you a long way in this setup. Shut out the gate, I must state, what you can expect is about 100 kilowatts in stock form. Price range, plus minus 70 grand. Best bang for buck on street setup, obviously you'll start off with the parts that were already mentioned in the stock setup. So standalone ECU, headers and exhaust, and then we move on to a slightly more intense build. So headwork, you require obviously a gas flow, a port and a polish, bigger cams, and some higher comp pistons, bigger higher comp pistons to take your displacement all the way up to 2 liters. With this setup, you get a nice jump to about 140 or 145 kilowatt on pump fuel. Price bracket, plus minus 100K. Moving on to the ever so well known 20 valve 1.8T. As most of us know, it's a stock turbo factory engine, so there's quite a lot of variety in setups and quite a lot of options and different engine codes, etc, etc. So bear with me as I run us through just what I feel first off out the gate is what's most important. We'll talk about power figures. So KO3, we're looking at potentially 130 kilowatts. KO3S, 140 to 150 kilowatts. And KO4, 170 to 180 kilowatts. Bang for buck, or street setup for the 20 valve turbo. So again, we're looking at stock motor, bolt-ons being T3, T4 turbo, obviously the cable shift transmission, and a set of bigger injectors. Power potential, 190 to 210 kilowatts. All this on pump fuel, by the way. Price bracket, you look at about 120 to 130K drive in, drive out. So with the 20 valve turbo motor, the margin for growth is just so phenomenal from that point there on in. So let's move on to a slightly more bespoke build from there. All you gotta do, drop in a set of rods, a set of cams, and a built head. So a complete drivetrain, like a Supertech or a Ferreira drivetrain. I mean, now, this build probably be capped up by a gearbox. You're looking at about 300 kilowatts plus minus to be safe on street tires. And you could spend anywhere between 150 and 180K for this. Trust me, from here on in, there's a lot to go. You just got to build the box and get some stickier tires.
Hey, go boy! Go boy! Check that Golf! Check that Golf! Check that Golf! Oh, fuck around in that Golf!
And last but definitely not least, what is definitely South Africa's street favorite, crowd favorite, the R327. I'm going to give it to you in stock form first, of course. Parts required, obviously you need to do a full hydraulic setup, cable shift box. V5 is probably the best way to go with the dual max kit. In stock form, obviously with mounts and a whole lot of other little fueling extras, you're looking at about 120 to 130 grand drive in, drive out. The street build version, obviously now we're starting to play with a bit more fueling. We're looking at initially just a little NF mix, 6 RON. You're going to gain probably about 10 kilowatts, 10 Newton meters. Stock everything, E20. Obviously that means 20% ethanol. You get about 10 to 15 kilowatts and about 15 to 20 Newton meters. Now the last point, post doing all this, honestly the next best bang for buck, you want to start playing with your transmission. You want to start doing transmission upgrades. So something like an LSD, and obviously to strengthen some straight cut gears will go a long way too. That is really all you need with the R32 to start seeing yourselves dive in low 11s on a full street car. But then the world's your oyster from there. There's a hell of a long way to go. But the pockets have to be really deep to keep that game pushing.
First gear roll.
Second gear roll.
Second gear roll.
Aspirated, yeah.
Aspirated, dada.
Okay.
If you guys would like a turbo setup, please do stay tuned and we can have a whole video about that, because that, my friend, needs an entire video on its own. R32 turbo setup, that's a whole nother topic. Anyway, so little disclaimer, all information, videos and races put out in this year's screening is purely for educational purposes. Oh, and might I add, no human or car was hurt in the making of this here video. Thank you for watching, and please do switch on your notifications so you get all the updates on the build series that is to come of my very own Mk1. Please do also let me know which is your favorite setup of all of the ones mentioned above. I'd like to know, I really would. And why? What makes you pick that? What's your reason? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and if you've made it this far into the video, please do treat yourself to the fun street content that is to come after this. Peace.
Golf in front.
one car gap. Hey, on the top end. Hey, on the